Basically, if you're training for longer than an hour, you need to put some fuel back in your body. Energy drinks is one thing, but what if you're training throughout the day? Haven't really got time to stop and eat and have to digest and metabolize a large meal like this. So what can you have? Let's go back over to the table and pick up the ingredients for our second meal. Have our bowl here, let's clean some of this out the way. Now, I said this is going to be a quick meal, and this really is going to be a quick meal. We're going to use our apricots, we're going to use our nuts and dried fruit there, we're going to use our dark chocolate. I'm also going to add in some oats and some natural granola there, and our banana, which by default leaves the fish, asparagus, mushrooms, and our selection of root vegetables for our final pre-workout meal. So this is real quick. The one thing you need to know about eating during training is not to eat too much. At the end of the day, you don't want to have much food in the gut, having to try and digest it while you're trying to exercise. After all, digestion takes a lot of energy, and if your body's having to do this, you're not going to have that same energy to exercise effectively. So again, eyeballing all measurements, I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of granola. Provide us a mixture of complex carbohydrates with some sugar, so fast-acting energy. We're going to balance that out with some oats here. Again, about 2 tablespoons. We don't really want that much. This is basically a snack food to consume throughout the period of your training. So let's mix that up. By the way, I already washed my hands after I switched over the meat, so keep everything clean. Dried apricots, dates, raisins, a great source of high glycemic sugar. So we'll get energy into the muscle quickly. But again, we don't want to add too much. So only about 4 apricots. This right here gives us at least 20 grams of fast-acting sugars. So I'm just going to tear these up. Therefore, we're eating them with the slower releasing carbohydrates and not all at once. Next, I want to add some fats in there too, because fats are important when we're exercising. So I've got some orchard mix here. And again, at this time, we can kind of add a little bit of everything. So within this handful, some almonds go in. These are raw almonds, meaning we get the full nutritional value, not the ones that have been cooked and salted. Some cranberries there, again similar to the apricots there, some fast-acting sugars, some walnuts. We've got some seeds going in there, and a few more pieces of dried fruit. So a nice mixture, around about 60-40, 50-50 at most, for simple fast-acting and slower release. And I'll put those back in the bag for another time. Combine all of the ingredients together. Now I mentioned chocolate. Chocolate is good for 2 things. One, has theobromine in, which helps increase vasodilation. A lot of supplements and products out there contain nitric oxide, which helps our veins expand, increasing the diameter, allowing more blood, fuel, oxygen and nutrients into the muscle. Speaking of which, that's key for being up here in the mountain, where they become much more restricted. Our bodies have to work harder, our VO2 max is pushed, and our training threshold is really up there. So if we can train effectively up in the mountains at this altitude, we're going to function much better down below. So the reason I'm adding chocolate is, 1, we get more fuel and nutrients into the body, and secondly, who doesn't like chocolate? If you're training and it's really pushing you hard, sure, some oats, some sugar, some fruit might taste great. As soon as you taste that chocolate, it's a little bit of heaven in your mouth. So I'm only adding 2 blocks of dark chocolate here. Therefore, we're getting much of the full nutritional benefits as opposed to milk chocolate, which has a lot more sugar in and less of the health benefits. So I'm going to mix that up. And finally, a banana. Bananas, fast-acting sugar and potassium. Potassium will help clear lactic acid out of the muscles and stop us from cramping. So whether you're running, lifting weights, playing sports, having a banana or more, half a banana with a handful of this, call it athlete's trail mix, will help stop our muscles from cramping, allowing us to continue to perform at that optimal level. So I said it was basic, but just like our first meal, it contains all of the key nutritional ingredients that we need to fuel our bodies for optimal performance. There you go.